online haircut.
What's up, guys? It's the Avenues Podcast, back with episode 205, and we're ready to have a great discussion. So I'm just going to start us straight off with the discussion topics. So today was my final day, my final real day of classes in high school, and it was quite the emotional day. So
You cry?
I didn't, but it was just, I was like,
I did.
no, I was sad, bro. After school, we were sitting by the cars, and like all my friends, like no one wanted to go home because it's like we were saying, like once you go home, it feels real. You know what I mean? Like when you're at the school, you're like still at school. You know what I mean? You're still technically there, but once you go home, it just like sets in, which is definitely true. But yeah, the day was a pretty eventful day for us. It started off with our grad prank. So my school, we have the tradition every year, and a lot of other schools around the North Shore do. Cut that shit out. Basically, the tradition is we pick one day, and you go to the school really early, and you basically set up some sort of prank. So, I mean, one year they brought one of those like backyard pools. So people have like the above ground pools. A couple years ago, they did that, and they filled up the pool in the cafeteria. Other grades, they like unscrewed the doors on the bathroom, and they were like riding the door from the stalls down the stairs, and they put like red Solo cups everywhere, and they're putting like forks in the grass, and like basically just like fucking around. So my grade, we had ours planned for today, Thursday morning, and I woke up at 3:30 to go to this. So the plan was wake up around 3:30, get to the school around 4, and then start basically just like setting it up. So I got to the school around 4. It was still like pitch black outside, and there was a small group of people in the front of the school, and basically they had done like, they had this like chalk paint stuff, and we wrote like grad 2024 like on the sidewalk in front of the school, and then basically we had like a bunch of streamers, and we were throwing them over like all the trees and railings and stuff in front of the school. So we had that, toilet paper, streamers, the chalk paint and stuff. And then one of my buddies was saying like, oh, we should drive our cars and park them in front of the school, like on the sidewalk. So he drove his car, I drove my car, my other buddy drove in. So we had at one point like 3 or 4 cars lined up in the front of the school. But the one negative thing about our grad prank is when we were setting up, we were supposed to basically get let in by one of our teachers. So how our school works is there's like an admin key. So this one guy, I'm not going to like mention his name on here because this is like pretty crazy, and I still don't know how he got this. But basically you got a key cut of the admin key for the school, which basically lets you in anywhere in the school. So he got this admin key cut at like Rona or whatever, where we get keys cut. And then basically he was going to let us in, but we needed a teacher to disarm the code. So basically in our school, there's like this like security code. And if you go in the school while the alarms are on or whatever, it sets off an alarm, and it sends like a notification to the principal or like, and like just the staff members that someone is like basically breaking and entering in the school. And so basically our plan was to get one of the teachers to help disarm the code so we can go in and like do our prank. And basically the girl that was organizing it, he emailed her at like 11 while everyone was asleep because we had to wake up at like 4. He's like, oh yeah, unfortunately I can't do it because I don't want to get fired.
And they waited till 11 p.m.
Exactly. So then he didn't come, and it kind of screwed us over. So everyone was like, people were just pissed off, and we were just waiting. So the next plan was like, all right, we'll just wait for the janitors to come in, and then the janitors will let us in, and we can go from there. So basically, we all moved to the back because that's where the janitors come in, through the staff parking lot, and they park there, and then, you know, go throughout the school and do like the daily run checkup, I guess. So the whole grade was pretty much standing out there at the back, getting ready for the janitors to come in. And basically the pranks that our class had set up was, my group had like this big slip and slide. So maybe like a 50-foot, like we had these like big tarps that ran like pretty much 50 feet. So our plan was to set a slip and slide from one end of the hallway all the way down to the other end of the hallway, like the whole length of the school, and like set that up right in the hallway and do like a slip and slide there. And then we had like a bunch of balloons and streamers, as I said earlier, and then the other groups, like a bunch of guys brought like axe like body spray, and they were like axe bombing the school and just basically just like messing around. But the best thing that my grade had was chickens. So we had this thing, like we were talking about, like, oh, it'd be so funny if we get like live animals like in the school. So these guys in my grade went out to like, I'm not gonna say exactly, well, yeah, just like around Richmond or Langley, and they went up and picked up 6 chickens, like young baby chickens pretty much, and put them in a box, poked like one of these like these plastic containers, poked like 6 holes on the top, and then brought them to school in the morning. And it was fucked. Like, we're checking, I'm like, dude, can I see? Like, I want to see this. So he lifts up the lid, and they're like frozen, dude. They're like frozen in shock. They're like scared as fuck. They're like not even moving. And there's like piss and shit everywhere in the box because they've had them in there for like 6 hours or whatever.
That's a little stupid.
I know, it's a little messed. So yeah, as we're sitting outside waiting for the janitors to come in, the principal pulls up, and this is at like 5 a.m. So he rolls up to school, and he sees us all standing there waiting, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, so he knew the prank was gonna happen, but I don't know if he knew what day it was gonna happen. And basically, he saw us, and he's like, "All right, like I can't let you guys in. Like you can't do this." And so people were trying to like negotiate and argue with him, and like, "Come on, like it's just one day, and like we'll clean it up or whatever." But he was not having it. But then at some point, like, he has to go into the school and like get his work done or whatever. So at one point, he just enters the school, and the doors are unlocked.
Stick a foot out there, and then
Yeah, so he goes in, and then like I'm on the other side of the school. Really, I was like with my friends over here, and the other people were down by the back entrance or whatever. But anyways, the doors get opened, and everyone just sort of like rushes in. And now, like, we're in the gym. So now, again, it's the streamers. It's, like, confetti. We have balloons everywhere. And then this one guy set up, like, a tent. So he brought one of these, like, 5-person camping tents and sets it up in the gym. And people got, like, their lawn chairs lined up and stuff. And we're, just messing around. And then the chickens, I don't even know what happened with that. Like, that just sort of fell through. Because as we were doing that, he, like, comes down from his office or whatever. And he's like, guys... He was like lecturing people, and he's like, guys, like, you gotta like clean this up right now. But usually how grad pranks works is like you do it in the morning, and then everyone gets to school, and then first block you go clean it up. But he was just not having it. And so because he was lecturing people and telling people off, a lot of people just left. So me and my friends ended up just leaving. We got breakfast at Timmy's, and then we pretty much just hanging out. We drove around for a bit, checked out a viewpoint, and I just drove around and, enjoyed the morning. But that was kind of the grad prank that we had today. So we started off with a grad prank in the morning. And then today, it was like the last full day of our classes. So we did like shirt signing. So I had, our school shirts, and then everyone was signing it. And then at lunch, all the seniors were outside, kind of by like one of the back buildings. And since our prank kind of fell through, we couldn't really do the slip and slide. We set up the slip and slide at the back hill at the school, and so we were just doing the slip and slide in there and just hanging out. So overall, it was a pretty good day. It was quite sad because it's my last full day, but I don't know. I just thought it was important to share. So last full day of high school.
Damn. Well, I got like 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid though, because you guys have to go in again to do exams.
We did.
So it's not really like a final goodbye.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty stupid when you think of it.
Yeah. It's like someone said, dude, this is bitter, because like it sucks right now, and in a week we have to go in for exams, and like we got like exams for like I have like 6 exams. I think I got like math, religion, English, bio, econ, and I got another one. But yeah, so lots of exams and stuff. And then this week was obviously really busy. We had a bunch of like final projects for all the classes as well. So the big one that I had was a marketing presentation. So throughout the whole year, we had to like pick a company and then develop like a product for it and fill out a whole marketing plan. And our teacher was saying it's basically like an entry level like marketing university marketing plan. So it was pretty challenging, very long. It was like my final doc was like 17 pages long of like information, and then you have to condense it down into like a 10 to 15 minute pitch and explain to the class like why they should invest in your product. And so overall it was quite fun. I stayed up super late though, like finishing my slides. And then I just had like math corrections, marketing assignment, English essay, like all these big projects sort of like always end up at the end of the year where everyone's like cramming them together. But I'm done now, and so now I just gotta study for exams. So yeah, it's weird to think about though. Like I still feel like, I mean, some of the guys that I was talking to were like, yeah, dude, I feel like I'm not ready to graduate. Like I wish I could like stay another year. So my question to you is like, do you say you're like ready to graduate? Do you want to graduate? Like, how do you feel about that?
It's a good question because I went throughout most of grade 12 thinking like, oh, it's going to be such a bad day for me. I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going to like it. Because honestly, I don't really like change all that much, especially when it comes to something as big as this. Now, one of my biggest issues in my life, I'd say, is learning to deal with getting older is a big fear for me. However, spending time with a lot of the kids with coaching football and some of the guys that are older, like grade 11 or grade 10, whatever, there's something about it that I can't put into words. It's kind of like a natural gut feeling of something telling me like you're ready to move on and you're ready to get out of there. And that has just dawned on me like recently, like within the past few weeks. Yeah. And I can't really explain it. It's just like some feeling I have deep down is like you're ready to leave and you're good to go pretty much. And I really can't say anything else to explain it but that, because it's such a I don't know, it's a unique feeling, and it's just like a gut feeling, honestly. So maybe that's the universe's way of saying like don't worry about it, or like, yeah, you're good to go, whatever, and like you're gonna be fine. But it's like, yeah, there's stuff to look forward to, I would say, for sure, leaving high school. But in general, like, I think I'm as ready as anyone can be to leave. Yeah. I've got all my classes done pretty much. I got like the grades that I've wanted or need to get. Yep. And I've done all the requirements for graduation. Like, I'm good. So I think I'm as ready as can be. Mm-hmm. And I think that whatever happens will just happen naturally. Yeah. I still got some time. I got the rest of the month pretty much to spend with school and to finish up. But I think, to answer your question, I think I'm just like naturally as ready as anyone can be, because no one is really. It's not a matter of whether or not you're ready. It's like just a part of life. Like, you have to go. Yeah. So I think I'm with everyone in like the sense of, a lot of people are thinking, oh, I don't want to leave high school, or can't wait to go. Like, I have every trait of anything that anyone is going through right now. Exactly. So I think that I'm as ready as can be, really. Yeah. I mean, if I was to answer that same question, I think, like you said, it's like I have the plans in place. I've got the grades I need to go. That I need to get to like get into school and stuff, and like I'm set. But I think, like, for me at least, it's just been like so busy this year that it's like I haven't had the time to sit with like, this is my last year of high school. Like, while you're in it, at least for me, I think I'm just very like busy, and I don't really like to like sit and just like think about stuff. Like, I am obviously like, I don't know, always doing something or with friends or trying to like enjoy the moment. I'm never really just sitting like reflecting on it, which I find is like
I mean, it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, it just depends like on how you look at it. But the last, like, just today and sort of like what that symbolized in the last couple of days, like, or the last week or so, I was just like, now it's kind of hitting me. And so it's like, I think I'm ready. And I think it's going to be a good thing, and it's going to be like a big change, obviously. But it just kind of dawned on me that it's like, wow, like, it's over, right? Like, it felt so,
I know what you mean.
It felt so quick. And like looking back on like all the friendships and stuff and the teachers and like all the bonds, like it just felt so quick. Like, it's just like, wow, like, I don't know.
I also think that in life, if you want to remember something, you will naturally remember it. Here's an example. I remember leaving elementary and going into high school, which was grade 7. And that was a great time in my life, where it was actually probably the most fun I've ever had in my life till this day, was spending time with 10 of my closest friends that I would consider like the closest thing to family, even till this day. And I spent so much fun times with them in the 7th grade. Obviously, we had history, like growing up together, but it was that one grade that was like our final hurrah. And I remember this so clearly, sitting in the venue that we were at doing our graduation, and they're playing the slideshow of you had to submit a photo of your first day of kindergarten, and then it would show like a photo that we took like a few days before in the garden with like it was like a profile photo pretty much.
Yeah.
And I remember literally sitting at my table. I can picture it right now in my head. I slowly scanned the room, and I looked at every single person that was in my grade sitting down, and I just took time. I just sat there and I just like looked at every single person, whether that was one of my closest friends or someone that I despised.
Yeah.
They were all there, and I have that in my head till this day so clearly. If you want to remember something, you will remember it. I think that's how I feel. Living out your day-to-day life, you're obviously going to, like, this conversation, you'll probably not remember in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
But there's some things that you can definitely control in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
That it's just going to be there forever, or not forever, but a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think of that.
Yeah. I mean, to add to your point there, I think it's like, if you deem something as like valuable or important to you, I think you will naturally remember it, if that makes sense, because it's like you take the time, like you connect with it either like emotionally, or you have some sort of like connection to it, and I think it's just as a result you'll remember it. Like I feel like that's pretty true with like big moments in your life. Like, I don't know, I feel like you don't ever have to like try to sit there and like try to remember it. Like, I feel like you just will. And I feel like your high school graduation's like just one of those moments, right? But for me, we've had like a lot of events in the last couple weeks here. So we had like we had grad kidnap, we had semis. That was like a month or two ago. Semis, grad kidnap, grad prank. Just all these like fun events and like bonding moments with your class. Yeah, we had grad camp. Well, that was like summer as well. But like overall, like, I think I really enjoyed high school, and like I think it's just like, even today it was so fun. Like, everyone is just fucking around, and that just like, to me, like what I love most about high school, I think, is like like you said, like the social aspect was just so much fun, and like having all your friends in one place, like the amount of shit that we got up to, like just like goofing off and like laughing so hard, where like the teacher's like, all right, you got to leave the class, like you got to go take a walk because you just can't control it, and then you're like, I don't know, just making jokes.
The only thing I like about school is the social part.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, it depends what you take too. Like, I think some of the subjects I genuinely enjoyed because I had a passion for them, kind of like what we talked about last episode. But I mean, there's some courses where you're just like, you know what, this isn't really my thing, or maybe I don't like the teacher, the people in my grade, or like in my class. But like, even if you have a couple friends there, like, it's just always, I don't know, I've always had like a good time in my class. Like, I've never had a class where I think like, wow, I hated this class, like I just do not want to be here. because I've always had like friends, or like I've always had like a good time, even if I don't necessarily completely enjoy the class. So, I mean, like specifically, like I really didn't like physics 11, and the teacher, like great guy, really nice guy, I love him, but not a very great teacher, and like a little bit of a language barrier, and just I wasn't very good at physics. But the people in my class sort of made up for it, and even though I didn't necessarily like enjoy the subject, it was fun just because of the people that was in it. So I feel like that sums up like all of high school. Like, although I didn't necessarily like all the curriculum and stuff we had to do, the people and the teachers and the connections you make, I think, make up for it, at least for me. So
yeah, I back that. Can you tell me about the kidnapping thing you told me about? I heard about that today, but I want you to say what happened with you.
Yeah, so this was, I think this is a week ago or so. This like last week. We had our grad kidnap. So another school tradition that we have. So basically what happens is the girls basically kidnap you and then take you out, dress you up, and then you go to like one meetup location. So what happened is there's a group of girls or whatever, and they'll text your parents, like you like in our group chat or whatever, like we sent our parents' numbers in, and they text your parents and they basically say, okay, we're doing the grad kidnap on this day. We're gonna come pick up your son at this time. Like leave like a note on the door so like I know which one it is. And like obviously like, are you okay with this? Like, is this fine? Obviously, we're not gonna like break and enter into someone's house. And so yeah, the parents will like reply back. So my mom, she's like, okay, like yeah, that's fine. And she put like a X on my door or whatever. So when I went to sleep, she like put the thing on my door. And then yeah, they basically came in. It was like 3 a.m. I was in my bed. I was like asleep because I knew it was gonna happen on that night, but I didn't know what time. I didn't know who was gonna pick me up or if I was gonna get picked up at all. Right. So I'm asleep. It's like 3 a.m. They're supposed to like. I heard they're gonna come at like 2, so I was like dead asleep. And then like one of my buddies opens my door, and like I don't know how many people were in there. It was like 6 people.
Whoa, hold on. Was your alarm not set on your house or something? Like, how did they get in? Like, obviously the X, but was it unlocked?
I think it was unlocked.
You didn't have your alarm on or anything?
No, my mom would have left it like unlocked or whatever. So yeah, I'm asleep, and like I just like 6 people like just go into my room, bro. I'm like half asleep. I'm like, then they turn the lights on. I'm like, what? Like I'm like half asleep, and then they like wakey, and then they just like come get you. And then so from there I like got changed, and then we went. One of my buddies, he was like the designated driver or whatever, he had like the minivan, and so it was me and one of my buddies, and so they got the one guy first, then me, and then that last guy. So then we're basically sitting in the back of the minivan, and then we go to pick up the last guy, and then we go to his house. We pick him up, wake him up, whatever, and they give us like the costumes or whatever. So the costumes that they gave us were like super fucked. Like they're like all these like, it was just weird as fuck. Like basically I was wearing like this one chick's like bikini, pretty much like bikini top, bikini bottoms or whatever, like over top of my underwear, and then like we had these like, I had this like headband thing, these like ears or whatever, I don't even know, like these like weird like childish headbands, and these like neon like arm sleeves. Like I felt like the basketball arm sleeves, but it was like fishnet neon arm sleeve or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then yeah, so that's what I was wearing. Then one of my buddies wearing like a tutu. He had like no shirt on. He didn't even have like a top or anything. And the other guy, same sort of thing. It was like tutu and like a bra or whatever. So yeah, anyways, so they pick you up, they put you in these costumes, and they drive. We went to like this beach, and we basically met with like a bunch of our grads, and then yeah, that's pretty much like we're just hanging out, chilling. But it was so cold. Like it's in the morning, right? Obviously before school, so everyone's like freezing cold, and then we're by the beach too, so there's a bit of a wind. So we were just like It was so cold.
Why would you want to do this? Is this like voluntary?
No, you don't have to do it. No.
Why would you want to do this?
Because it's like, I don't know, same sort of thing. It's just like the grad tradition. It's fun. It like, I don't know. It's like it sucks, but it's fun at the same time. You know what I mean? So anyways, we go to the beach, and then after everyone comes, like we take a bunch of pictures and stuff, and then everyone goes. We all got food at like McDonald's or whatever, and then we had school in like an hour. So my buddies, they came back to my house, and they were like, we all sleeping in my bed, and then in a couple hours,
clip that.
Yeah, don't clip that shit. And then like a couple hours after, we had to go walk to school. So I mean, it was a pretty eventful night, but it was lots of fun. And that's like the sort of things you remember. Is like, I'm not gonna remember like, okay, I got like a bad test. Like, I'm gonna remember like having fun with my friends. And
that's facts. Yeah.
You know, the connections you made and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we have any other? We're at 26.
Yeah, I could talk about. Well, this week at school, my fire alarm in the school was pulled twice.
Really?
On the same. It was what was it? Day 1. Yeah, day 1 today, at the same block, right after lunch.
Why?
I don't know, but every year, the last week of school, it's pulled.
Yeah.
Sometimes one year it would be every day, or sometimes it would be last day of school and the last class. But yeah, they did it early. This was on, what is it? So it was on Tuesday, and then today it was a minute after the class started. It was pulled, and I was late. I was heading in class, and I was like, I'll just meet them outside. So I just go over there, and my teacher's kind of like laughing at me because I'm just there like, he didn't see me going to class. He just sees me there. Yeah. And then here's the funny thing. So the principal goes on the speaker, and she's like, yeah, you guys all did the right thing, how you're supposed to do it. Good job. But for some individuals, you made a very poor choice today. And she's like, I don't care if it's a tradition at I was just about to say the school, at the school. This is not how our school community should be represented. It should be represented. Yeah. And you made a poor choice. If they're like, okay, I'm going to go over the cameras, each and every one, and try to find you. Or you can come and turn yourself in, and we can talk about it and relieve it in a lot better, and you have a lot better of a manner, and you get in a lot less trouble. And they said, if we have to spend countless hours going through footage of each camera at the school just to try to find you, and we do find you, you're going to, if you're a senior, get banquet privileges removed, because this goes against school conduct. Yeah. You're going to get banquet privileges removed, and you're going to, it's going to be put on criminal record. It's going to get put on scholarship applications, and you're going to get a $5,000 fine from the fire department for wasting their time. And they said, you wasted their time coming here. They could have been going to someone to save a life. Because they came here, they're going through traffic and causing, traffic could be an accident. Now, that's all true, except for the fact that there was no fire department that came. So all of that did not happen, which I don't know why they wouldn't come. They didn't come.
They probably called them off because they knew.
Yeah, but they also didn't go on Tuesday. So, yeah, that would be true, but that didn't happen. And they're like, if you come turn yourself in, we can talk, deal with this a lot easier, and you're not going to get in as much trouble. However, I think it's all bullshit, and I think that they are actually not going to check the cameras. They're just saying that so that they could get someone to turn themselves in, and then they can get in trouble. Yeah, I think they're bluffing. So they're like, I heard some rumors of, they said, I think we know the group that was involved, but we don't know who did it, and we know that some of you guys know who did it. Now, from what I heard, there was a group chat on Snapchat that was leaked of a bunch of grade 8s planning it out, and they did it. And apparently, since here's another fucked up thing. They said anyone that is caught on the camera in that area is gonna get in trouble. That's fucked up. What if someone's on their phone walking by to get to class and they're on their phone not paying attention, or they just are not looking at them and they are seen walking by getting to class? You're going to bring that fucker down? No, dude, don't do that. Yeah. That's horrible. So I think what happened was the kids that were on Snapchat were like, okay, I don't want to get caught on camera doing this. I'm going to turn my buddy in so I don't get associated with it. That way they don't have to check the cameras.
It's like snitching, pretty much.
Yeah, because they don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened or will happen. That's the rumor I heard. So that happened this week. But yeah, that's still pretty crazy. And they're like, for anyone that thinks that this is remotely funny or a good thing, you are gravely mistaken. And I'm like, to my friend, it's pretty funny. Because it is pretty funny.
You gotta like stop the whole school and like
it's pretty funny. Outside. Well, I actually enjoy it because I get to skip out. I had math at the time. I get to skip out on class, and it's pretty funny because like joking around like, oh, you did it. Yeah. It is funny. Now I know the
inconvenient, but it's funny.
Yeah, it is, but it's not inconvenient for me if I had.
Well, yeah.
But for the principal, they're not a teenage kid. So of course they're not going to find it funny, especially as since you're a principal. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that shit. So yeah, no fucking shit. It's not funny, but you're not considering the fact that it's very funny for all the kids.
Yeah.
So unless there's something happening in that class where they wanted to be present for a good reason, no one, everyone found it funny pretty much, or somewhat relieving.
Yeah.
So you can't say it's not funny because it is. So that's just the reality. Yeah. Anyway, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I did what I was supposed to. I just left the building right away.
Yeah.
If there was a fire, I would be fine. I left the building right away. I went out to the number that we were supposed to go because I already knew because we had it 2 days before. Yeah. So I knew where to go, and I was chilling.
Sweet.
So, that happened this week as well. But
yeah. Yeah, people have pulled the fire alarm, but it's not really like a thing in our school like it is for yours. But I remember someone pulled it, and they were like, it was the same sort of thing, but our school is really small, like a lot smaller than yours. And so they can like easily find, they have like cameras everywhere. And I mean, they've caught some shit on the cameras before, and they like the same sort of thing where you're saying like, okay, like why do they bring everyone in if you're just caught on camera? Because they'll like, not everyone gets in trouble, but they'll like interrogate people. Like it's actually crazy. They'll like call someone that's like was like associated with it.
Bro, your school's fucked up. That's one thing. Right?
Yeah. So they catch like all that shit, and like the same thing. Like if you get caught, you'd be like suspended for sure, like in class or like a couple days. But like you would definitely get suspended. Like they do not like play around with that shit. But
there's also, I mean, it's not a great thing to do.
Someone's got to do it.
It's very funny. But
it's pretty funny, but
it's not good to do.
Yeah, don't do it. Like don't someone else will do it probably, so just don't even do it,
Laugh at them.
Exactly.
But don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I also heard that it was pulled in an area. Bro, what if they're watching this and then just everything I'm saying, they find it really valuable information and they have no idea.
What? I didn't know that.
And I'm just saying, oh yeah, I heard this happen, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Or like I heard about it, but they don't know.
Yeah.
Yo, please don't talk to me at school about it if you're watching. Anyway, but I heard that it was pulled in an area where there was no cameras. So, I mean, that's smart, I guess.
Yeah.
But
they'll probably. I mean, do you think they'll find the person?
From what I heard, yeah.
Yeah.
From the information that I heard about the Snapchat and all that, I think that they will.
Yeah.
I think the kid's fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. This week I also watched the Nelk, the Full Send podcast, and I watched their newest episode with Will Smith. It was probably the best podcast episode I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Will Smith was talking about acting in general, his career with acting, how to be happy, like genuinely happy, and he was talking about Bad Boys 4 coming out. Oh. So the day that they filmed that episode, it was the premiere for the movie, and the Nelk Boys were invited to it. And Steiny was saying his favorite movie in the franchise was Bad Boys 2, and I agree with him. And you know that famous scene from that movie where the 15-year-old is going to the door to date his daughter? And they fuck with them.
Yeah.
He was
and he tucks it. He's got the red bandana. He tucks it in. And they he brings them in. They're all it's all the gang guys or whatever.
No, there's two.
Yeah.
There's those two, and the one.
But they bring them to the garage, don't they?
No, they stay there at the front. But Will Smith comes in, and they're like, he just got out the joint. And he had a gun. He pulled his gun on him.
No, what they do at one point, I don't know if it's on TikTok or something or Instagram, but maybe I'm thinking of something else, but they bring him in to they're like, let me talk to you, let me holler at him real quick, and he brings it him, and it's just they're all standing around him.
You're thinking of the 50 Cent movie.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm confusing them. But same sort of thing, right? It's the same.
Yeah, but this was more comedic.
Okay, yeah.
So that he was talking about that scene, and Steiny was like, that was one of my favorite scenes in any movie in the world, and he was like, okay. Will Smith said, if you like that, what you're gonna see tonight in the premiere is gonna be the funniest moment that you've had in a theater ever.
Really?
And he's like, really? He's like, yeah, because this movie has elements from each movie in it. And that's one of them. He said, you're gonna love it. He's like, I'm gonna hunt you down after the movie's over, and I'm gonna confirm it with you. He was like, that's a pretty bold statement. He's like, yes, that's how confident I am.
Wow.
And he's like, it is very funny. And he also explained how. So I'll tell you this. And for the people watching, this is a really interesting story. So this is also one of my favorite scenes in any movie I've seen. I need to watch it when we're done. But he was like, Will Smith was explaining, so the kid was playing a 15-year-old, and he's actually 15, the actor. Now, the kid apparently had no acting experience really whatsoever before this. So the director said to Martin Lawrence and to Will Smith, go up to the kid, introduce yourself, say hi, be nice, but I want you guys to fake an argument in front of him to get him, to stir him up, right? So Will Smith, Martin Lawrence said something about Will Smith not doing his lines well or something like that. And then they had this argument back and forth to the point where they were almost yelling at each other. And once the director saw that the kid was physically uncomfortable, they said, okay, let's start the scene. And they started the scene to capture him in that moment.
Yeah.
And what you see in the movie is what he's actually coming off of.
Yeah.
And what they did with him was improv. That's what Will Smith said. But I don't get that 100% because Martin Lawrence grabbed the kid and threw him against the wall to make sure he had no weed on him. So maybe I think that might have been.
Yeah, it might have been
But their argument was, he said was improv.
Yeah, the lines were probably
putting the gun to the guy's head and shouting in between each other.
Yeah.
So what we were actually seeing was partially what the kid was actually feeling.
Yeah.
And I remember the comments on the YouTube video being like, that kid is either the best actor in the world or he genuinely did not think he was in a movie.
Yeah, it just feels real.
And I think that's all the director. I think that's such a good thing it's such a smart move by the director to do that. And Will Smith was explaining on the episode that that's typically not something that they do.
Yeah.
But when you have something like that, he was also talking about filming with his son for the first time, how he didn't have any commercial work and how they got him into it. I don't want to go over it because it's kind of a long thing for me to explain.
Yeah.
But anyone that likes acting or anyone that likes Will Smith or his movies, I would definitely recommend you watch this episode. He's on for half an hour or something. It's not too long. It's a really good episode, and they ask really good questions. And you can tell he's in therapy because some of his answers, one of them was how do you find happiness on your free time or something? And he was just explaining how he was having therapeutic answers. He was saying, the Will Smith is such a cool guy, but the real me is so different. He was talking like that. He was also saying, things you get like what's the saying? Money doesn't buy happiness. Things you get from money is temporarily giving you happiness. It's not long-term happiness, which is true. And he said, once you get to a certain point like me, where you get a lot of money and you buy stuff that you want, he said you hit a void.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to getting things, because you get rich really quickly. You get all this stuff and you eventually go into a void where you cannot buy anything that would make you happy. So it's hard for you to find true happiness since you're so used to doing it through money.
Yeah.
So he was talking about that process. Again, I'm not going to go too much detail. I'm just explaining the gist of it.
Yeah.
But that to me was super interesting. He was talking about how he was filming the first Bad Boys movie in Miami. It came out in 1995. It was filmed in 94. And he said back then Miami wasn't too hot as it is right now.
Yeah.
So he said he was able to film there easier than it is now.
Yeah.
And he said the only thing Miami really had going for them is the fact that he said that Prince had a nightclub in Miami that was super popping. And if you think of Prince and you would think what he would do for a nightclub, that was what the nightclub was. It was the closest thing to heaven on earth, apparently. That's what he said. And so that's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, he said this movie, the next one, which I actually booked my tickets to, I'm seeing in the next few days, which I'm really excited about. I mean, I talked about it on here. This is the most excited I've been for a movie for a long time.
Yeah. When's the release date?
Tomorrow, as of recording.
Okay. So Friday, for all you people wondering.
Yeah, it was released on Friday. And so he explained how it was filmed in Atlanta, and it was also filmed in Miami. Have you seen the trailer?
I think I did. I think I have, yeah.
It looks pretty good. And Kyle from Nelk was like, when a series has been going on for over 20 years, not 20 years yet. I meant 30. He said over 30 years, it's going to be 30, like next year. He was like, when a series has been going on for like 30 years, he's like, it gets kind of boring and like bad, which I think is generally true, especially for the fourth one. Like the fourth movie is always like bad. Same as the third one.
Yeah,
the third, generally, not all the time, but generally. I think of Karate Kid 3. I'm thinking Back to the Future 3. These were all Home Alone 3. These are movies that the third installment was bad compared to the rest. But the third one of Bad Boys was the best movie when it comes to numbers. It was the most successful.
Really?
He said that each time they released a new movie, it got more successful and more successful. So this movie is projected to be the most successful out of the four. Huh. So he said that in this, he said that, and he was talking about, he's just filming it, really excited. He said it's a lot of fun. The trailer looks good, but going back to what Kyle was saying, is he was saying that he was like, normally when a series has been going on for this good, it's not very good, but he's like, the trailer looks dope. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah. So I think the trailer looks really good. I love the concept, bringing Captain Howard back into it, and also just running away from the law. It looks really funny from the scenes that they showed. I love how they brought Going Bad with Meek Mill and Drake into the soundtrack, which I think is really good. The soundtrack for the third movie was really good. It had Quavo, Pitbull, a bunch of Spanish rappers that I can't think of the name, but it had really good songs that they made. Rick Ross. Songs and collabs that was made for the movie, kind of like Bright with Will Smith, the same sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But this one was really good. I still listen to that soundtrack probably the most out of any movie, so hopefully they do the same. I don't know if they will. Yeah. But nevertheless, their music's really good. Yeah. I love the song Bad Boys. It's just a good song. Yeah. So, I'm really looking forward to that. But I really loved the episode that he did with the Full Send podcast. And he was super nice. And the stuff he was saying was so interesting. And stuff that I've never thought of that I just found super cool. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, I guess, do you want to wrap it up here then?
Yeah, I guess so, because I don't have anything else that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I've been going for 45 minutes. Pretty good. Yeah, so I guess on that note, we'll wrap it up here. So that's been episode 205. We've had some good discussion here. And we'll see you in the next episode. So make sure to press all those links in the description. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram.
There's one thing I got to say. I haven't told you this, but since the summer's coming up, Justin's off school. I know he's got exams.
Yep.
The summer's coming up in a few weeks where we're both going to be on summer break. I think we should start doing some more specials.
What kind of special do you have in mind here?
Where we go out and film content.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm up for it.
I have one idea where we can go to an abandoned place.
Oh, I know. You sent me that. I think you sent it to me on...
There's that, but there's a better one. There's nothing confirmed. He doesn't even know what I'm about to say. Yeah. But this is just an idea. There's a place not too far from here where we can go that is a old, like, I'm not going to really go into much detail, but it's associated with the Second World War. And we can go there and it's abandoned. And it's kept in good shape, and it has something to do with World War II. So maybe in the summer we can go there.
Yeah, I'd be up for it. I'm up for doing some more
specials.
Yeah, some more special stuff. Those are, to be honest, those are like I enjoy filming those and like editing those and like watching those. Like those make me excited. Like those are fun to film.
Dude, the thing is, I've edited like all of them. I think.
I know. I'm down to edit one.
You should edit it. How many have we done? We did the Subway one. We also did the one. What's the other one we did earlier?
I mean, the Halloween ones kind of.
The Halloween,
you can throw them in. Like those ones kind of count. We did the one for the rebrand.
Yeah, we did the one. We did. Yeah. I think those are the big
a couple
ones.
More.
We did.
I'm trying to think.
I think those are the big two. But I did.
We've
like
done more. It's hard.
Like small shit though.
Yeah.
But like our big ones were those three.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Halloween episodes are my favorite though. Fuck, dude. Those are so fun.
Yeah, those are fun. Good times.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll hopefully this summer we can think of some stuff. I want to do more specials.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of what I just said? Like, as a possibility.
I'm up for it. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, let us know if you guys want to see more of those because I think we both enjoy doing those and they're pretty like. Yeah. I think they're fun to watch too. Like I think the whole process is really fun. Like when we're recording these, like I think my favorite part of our weekly episodes is probably just recording it. But then the editing process is pretty long and like drawn out, and it's pretty like we've talked about it before, but it's like very like repetitive. But in terms of like the skits and stuff, it's like it's fun to do because it's like it's the one-off experience and like you can kind of choose how you want it. Yeah, and so you can make it more special and choose how you want it to play out. So I don't know. I definitely enjoy those. So yeah, if you guys want to see more of those, let us know. But yeah, I guess we'll just wrap it up here. So thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace.